Hey, good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Walking with God, episode 5, chapter 5. We're going to be going through Adam's descendants to Noah and his sons. Uh, Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you, babe. I got my wife Angela with me. She's recording today. And then always we got Livy with us in the background. So we're going to go ahead and just do a live reading of chapter 5 of Genesis, Adam's descent to Noah and his sons, and then we'll get on board and let's get some conversation going and talk about what we think. All right, without further ado, this is the list of descendants of Adam. When God created humankind, he made them in the likeness of God. Male and female he created. He created them and he blessed them and named them humankind when they were created. When Adam had lived 130 years, he became father of a son in his likeness, according to his image, and named him Seth. The days of Adam after he became the father of Seth were 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. Seth lived after the birth of Enosh 870 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. Enosh lived after the birth of Kenan 850 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. Kenan lived after the birth of Mahalalel 840 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. Mahalalel lived after the birth of Jared 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. Jared lived after the birth of Enoch 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. Enoch walked with God after birth of Methuselah 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him. When Methuselah had lived 170 years, he became the father of Lamech. Methuselah lived after the birth of Lamech 782 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he became the father of a son. He named him Noah, saying, out of the ground that the Lord has cursed, this one shall bring us relief from our work and from the toil of our hands. Lamech lived after the birth of Noah 590 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. After Noah was 500 years old, Noah became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So sorry if I, here, I'll take it from here and flip it.
You gotta flip it.
All right. How do I flip?
I'm not sure. Why don't you just talk while I figure it out?
Well, yeah, so, I apologize if I said any of the names wrong or anything, but this is just another chapter within our series. So what we're trying to do with this Walking with God series is we're just trying to have conversation. We're trying to spread the Lord's message. So
We just...
again, what we need to do is, what I'm doing is we're just going to record a live Bible reading, and then we're going to discuss, and then I'm going to bring someone into the studio, and then we're going to have someone from the church, or we're going to do a longer episode on that. So I appreciate everyone's support on this channel and on the YouTube channel, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So for this episode, there's a lot of stuff that comes to mind for this that you know, it says that all these people died and all these people lived very long years. But then one thing that sticks out to me is the Enoch part. So I want to see what people are saying about the Enoch thing, and what does it mean that he just walked with God? It never says that Enoch died. And you know, I'm kind of like a nerd about like mathematics and physics and stuff. So you know, I wonder if the 65, like when he was 65, and then when he was 300, so add the 365 when he was actually taken. I wonder if that has anything to do with like our days or anything, or if that's just, you know, a mathematical anomaly or whatnot. But so this episode, or this chapter in the Bible, it really just talks about, you know, how all these people lived and how they live long lives. And we're going to get into the wickedness of humankind coming up in the next chapter. And but yeah, it's just crazy. So I want to talk about too. I wonder, and babe, you can say anything too if you have any.
Well, sometimes I wonder if people just age differently. Like maybe you were 250, but you looked like you were 40. You know, how did the aging process work before God changed it?
Yeah.
And or did time, you know, just, was it different? Here, you want to give her some bump
Yeah.
buzz?
So that's
was time just operating differently? Or passed differently?
And that's what we want to just ask people and find out. I'm sorry, Livy.
Get your thing. Get
what
your
do you think, Livy?
There you. Oh, she dropped it.
What do you think, Livy? Here, can you help her out, and then we'll just try to figure this out. So let's just try to have some conversation. What do you guys think? You know, let's talk about the descendants. Let's talk about anything. If you guys want to say a prayer, you got anything that is on your mind, you know, let's talk. That's all we're trying to do is just spread the word. So
we'll just keep it moving.
yeah, so we're just gonna keep walking. We're on the Heritage Trail. Again, thank you guys for those that are showing up. I got my beautiful wife with me here. Thank you again, Angie. So anybody got anything in mind that they want to talk about, or just want to talk about how maybe those times were a little bit different, or maybe time, you know, maybe because they were so close to God that time was slower and their years and stuff, or maybe they just did live that long. You know, some of those guys lived to be in their 900s, 800s, and 700s, which is, you know, a lot of people now might say, well, that's impossible, but you know, I believe it. I think that you know, the more wicked we get, and again, we'll talk about it in the next chapter, that God, you know, he does in fact shorten our lifespan to I believe it's like 120 or something is what it says in the Bible, but we'll get to that portion. I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's definitely something that happens to us because as you can see within Genesis, you know, everything was created, and then now we're starting to get wicked. So you can see, like any father, he's starting to take some stuff from us now. So appreciate everybody joining, and if you guys have any feedback for us or anything, please let us know. So we're walking on this trail and walking on this spiritual journey with you guys. Eventually we want to start getting more people out here, and we do have a walk scheduled for December 21st at the Stafford Civil War Park in Virginia for all the local people. We'll be doing a walk, and we'll be reading Ephesians chapter 4. So we're pushing that out on Facebook and everywhere else. But yeah, what's everybody got to say about today's chapter, or anything else that we've talked about, or anything else that's on your mind? We're here for you guys, so let's try to make this interactive. And if I forget something, we'll get back on later and we'll talk. And if you guys have anything that you don't want to talk about on here that you just want to send to me personally, go ahead and do that too. I'll chat with you. So again, we're just trying to make this as interactive as possible and starting to get people in the Bible. So again, we read Genesis chapter 5, and we're just going to keep going through the Bible. And on the back end, I'll be interviewing some of our pastors and some of the leaders within the Stafford area, just to get more of an in-depth in the studio, what's going on. So again, this chapter, there's not a whole lot in there, but just want to get people's opinion. And I know that there's the Book of Enoch out there, and I met with one of our pastors, and we didn't really talk about it too much, but there are some books that didn't make it into the Bible. So that's something that I'm actually really interested in, and again, just interested in having the conversation. I'm not trying to convert anybody, or I'm not trying to make you get in the Bible. I want people to just walk around and get some fresh air, listen to the Bible if you want. This is like three different things. This is mental, spiritual, and physical fitness. So we're inviting all people to walk with us. So if y'all want to come walk with us, and come walk with me, my wife, my daughter, and come walking with God. Thank you, guys. God bless. Love you guys.
We'll have to play